Now in the previous video, I got all the weather stripping off and all little retaining clips off around the perimeter. I got all the filler a previous owner had put in around the two clamp mounts on there. I'll get to the hardware a bit later. And my first task for this video is to be getting this plate out of here, get all the filler out, and to get the hardware removed from this side and from the other side. So I've got the car all covered back up, because I'm sure I'm going to be creating a lot of dust and dirt. So I'm going to get to work on getting this side all cleaned out here. So the first thing I'm going to try here, so I'm just going to try a screwdriver and a wrench and see if that will take it off. Well, surprise, surprise, it actually worked. I'll have to see. Let's try this bottom one. Let's put a little nut driver on there. There you go. Perfect. That's a good start. So that little plate came off. I'm going to throw that in the garbage. And then we can get to working on all this filler crap in here. So you can see I got the first two screws out, here and here. And then there's 5 more. This one's got a Phillips head on it, and the others are straight. And so I've got the straight in here. Let's see what happens when I get in here. No, that came out. That one came out. That one came out. And those look like just kind of sheet metal screws that have gone through there. And let's see what this other one is. And that one's quite a bit longer. So now that those screws are out of there, you can see that this whole section here is loose. I may just cut this right across here where it's already split. And as obviously this is split away from the edge here. And in that way, I can work on this whole thing on the bench and go from there. Well, actually, with just a little bit of prying, I managed to get these big chunks out of there. Just a little bit more to get out. So I didn't have to cut this off. Obviously, I'm going to need to do a whole bunch of cleaning here. So now that all that stuff is out of there, I can get to the screws for the actual bracket itself, and hopefully we can get those off without too much further incident. All right, I've got most of the filler material out of there. I have managed to get this top screw loose, but these other ones are going to prove a little bit more difficult. So I think what I'm going to do, as I mentioned earlier, is just get the Dremel in there and with a little cutoff wheel and cut those screws off, because the heads on the other side are really rusty. So let's see how that goes. Let's see if we can get that out of there. There we go. That should. I just left a little bit of a washer there. Well, I decided to stop messing with the little angle grinder. So I just spread out the big guns and made short work of the top two screws here. So you can see where I cut those off there and there. So I'll just push those through. Then I'll be able to remove all this hardware from this side. So I have this side all removed and just sitting down here. And now I'm going to tackle the other side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and clean out these screw heads as much as possible before attacking it with the screw bit so I can get a better bite. I'll put some more penetrant on there and I have the right size wrench to hit the nut on the back. Hopefully we can get those out without too much of a misadventure. And it also looks like there's some rivets in here that I'll have to drill out. Okay, these ones are proving to be a little stubborn. So what I'm going to do is drill them out from the front side here. It's hard to get anything into the back side. So I'll get these drilled out. So I've chosen a bit that is about the same diameter as the shank of the screw itself. And I'll just use the center of the screw on the face to center my drill. Okay, there we go. Got the brackets off this side. Now I just have to get these screws out of these two holes here, and then we'll be good to go. I'll get this all cleaned up. There's one of those little metal clips underneath here, I'm sure, that I've got to be careful of. So yeah, we'll just be carefully move this off here. And we've got this little metal clip on here. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do now is there are 1, 2, 3 rivets in here, and I'm suspecting it's just holding this little piece on because it's cracked right across here. It's cracked right across here, as you can see. I think that's supposed to go underneath like that. So we'll have a fair bit of work to do. I'm just going to drill those out and see where we end up. Now, as you can see, this piece is really loose. There's really not much holding it on there. So I'm just going to cut that. Actually, that'll probably just come off. So that's that one piece of that edge. You can see there's a rivet coming out here. There's another one there I'll finish getting out, and a one on the top here. Get the last rivet out of here. There we go. Well, there we go. Got all the brackets off, the rivets out, and so I've just got to finish getting this screw off of here. That won't be too difficult at all. These are handed, and on this would be the, this is upside down, so this would be the left side pillar. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's actually a number on there. I believe that looks like 163. So based on that, I'm assuming it's a very early top. And I do know it's a factory option on the Bugeyes. Other than this piece broken completely off here from this side, I'm still quite happy with the condition it's in compared to the price I paid for it. Now that I have that hardware off, next up is I'm going to get the front clips off. Looks like these screws are in good shape on these ones here, but these ones up in here look like they're a bit mangled. I may have to drill those ones out. So once I get these off, I'll have all the hardware off, and then we can do a proper cleanup and assessment and figure out what we're going to do next. Well, I got the front clips off, and I managed to get 3 of the screws out. The one I only had to drill 1 out, so I'm quite happy with that. And just with a little bit of cleaning up, those will be good to go. I do have a bit of welding to do on that one. That one's okay. So I'm going to get those cleaned up, welded. So all in all, I'm very happy with the result of getting all that hardware off. So now that I have everything apart, I'm going to give everything a really good clean. I'm either going to paint or plate the hardware here. The clamps will just need a good clean. I think they'll clean up. But that's all I have time for this episode. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget that little bell icon. Click on that and you'll get notified when the next video comes out, and it does help the channel out. If you want to catch up on the previous video, I'll put a link up in the top corner over here. And if you want to see where this whole project started, I'll put a link to that video down in the bottom corner. My name is Ian. This is the Econobox Garage. We'll see you next time.